I used to judge women who were in relationships where they were abused. I used to think, why don't you just leave? Why on earth would you stay in a relationship where you're treated poorly, or where they're lying to you or cheating on you or abusing you? I used to think, man, if a man ever laid a hand on me, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. Until I became that woman. People ask me, why didn't you just leave? If it was that bad, if he treated you that bad, why didn't you just leave? I look at pictures, videos that I took along the way, and the feeling of shame, embarrassment just floods me. I've had to forgive myself for staying as long as I did. I had to forgive myself for believing in somebody and hoping that they would get better and change, believing their promises, all while they were using me to elevate themselves so they can better themselves. Women stay in relationships where they're being abused because the abuse is a slow progression. It becomes normal. The dysfunction, the putting down, the name calling, the accusations, it becomes part of your daily routine because it's not all at one time. The abuse isn't all at one time. What happens is that you have like a normal family day or a couple days that are like normal, and you come alive and you feel beautiful and you feel elevated, and you just want to freeze frame that time frame and you hope it never ends, and you think, okay, finally we've arrived, this is it. All within a short period of time it comes to a screeching halt and everything comes crumbling down. Next thing, little shrewd comments are being thrown at you. Like, how do I even benefit from it? You hardly cook. To, that came out wrong. I didn't mean it like that. To, well, my ex used to just do it for me. She would just grab my phone and take care of, this issue with my booking system online. She would just handle it for me. Or, you should wear your hair dark. You look better dark. I hate your hair like that. Or, you'd look better if you put a few pounds on. Or, here, wear these kinds of clothing. Or these types of shoes. Like little things like that. And then my ex would go out on these benders, right? Like we would be it was always when we were so good. Like when those moments when you feel like you've arrived in your relationship, when everything just seems perfect. He would say he had to go to a lesson or go to work or go to the store. And next thing you know, he wouldn't return for 24 or 48 hours. And usually before he returned home, I got the FaceTime calls. He'd be blowing my phone up, accusing me of sneaking men into the house. And so adamant to where I was just constantly defending myself. It got to the point where he so directly accused me of doing nasty, terrible things. I was just constantly defending myself. And what he was doing was never addressed. He was out probably cheating, doing crazy drugs, drinking. I don't even know what else. But he had a drug problem and he'd go on these benders. Then he'd come home and I would just be annihilated with verbal abuse, and some of the time it was physical. I've been pulled off the couch by my hair and then dragged across the living room. I've had beer bottles thrown at me. I've had, where I was sitting there eating a salad, I've had salad slapped out of my hands. He blew a gun off in my bedroom in the middle of the night one time because he thought I was sneaking a man in the house. He used to plant things throughout the house to accuse me of sneaking men into the house. He would move the bed and say that because the bed was moved, I must have been having sex with somebody on the bed. If I had a bruise on my arm or my leg, it's because I cheated on him. And so the relationship became about me constantly defending myself while he was the one who was actually doing the actions. And I'm so embarrassed. I feel like an idiot. So yeah, abuse comes in many shapes and sizes, but it's rarely very direct where you can see it head on. Yeah, there was times I was like, I'm really abused. I'm actually there was times when he would be yelling and screaming at me for hours, and I would sit there and I would think, my gosh, I'm that woman. I'm being abused. This is abuse. And then he always spun it around too when he was done ranting and raving about whatever he was ranting and raving me about, usually accusing me about doing something I didn't do and upset about something I didn't do, he would turn it around and become emotional, and he would fall asleep. And when he'd wake up, he'd be crying and apologizing and saying he doesn't want to be that way anymore. He wishes he wasn't that way anymore. And then I would feel sorry for him, and I would take him to like an outpatient rehab, and I'd sit with him in his therapy sessions. I would go with him to get he had to get a couple shots, the Vivitrol shots, to help him from drinking. I went with him for those. I set up therapy appointments for him. I just wanted him to get better. And it's because I have a child with him. I didn't want to co-parent with another man. I wanted to raise my child with somebody. I don't want to send my baby off to another home. I don't want to do that. I wanted to keep my baby under one roof. And I wanted to help the man that said he loved me more than anything and that he needed my love and my support. Nothing worked. I tried to lump him through his addiction and his abuse. It got worse. I put boundaries up. It got worse. I broke up with him. He'd come crying back. I let him try to prove himself. I'll prove it to you. So I let him prove it. And the next thing you know, I'm the bad guy. Because I'm mad at him, or I have my walls up or my guards up. I'm the bad guy. Because I'm mad at him for all the things he did. And I don't trust him. So yeah, abuse, it's a funny thing. And anything that you confide in your abuser, they hold against you too. If you tell them anything about your past, you better believe they're gonna hold it against you. That's abuse too. And they do it in ways you just don't even recognize. Little increments here and there, sometimes big times. But then sometimes they spin it around to make you feel sorry for them. I never dreamed I would be that woman. Never. But here I am. I'm in the aftermath of picking myself up off the ground, coming out of an abused relationship where he still blames me and accuses me, and I question, maybe I'm the narcissist. Maybe I was the abuser. Maybe I was the one. I look through old text messages and I see my gaslit responses and I think, oh my gosh, maybe I said that mean thing. Maybe I am the abuser. So yeah, when you meet a woman and you discover that she was in a relationship where she was abused and she came out of it and she's still alive and she's still trying, don't ever shame her. Don't ever ask her why she stayed as long as she did. If she keeps talking about it over and over again, be patient with her. She's trying to process the heartbreak, the abuse, the lies, all the mental scramble that's going on in her mind. Abused women don't mean to talk about their abuser over and over again. They don't mean to focus on their abuser over and over and over again, but it's just hard when you're trying to process what is going on because everything is twisted and not what it is, and it's hard to compartmentalize what's going on, especially if you can't completely get rid of them because you have a child with them, and that's a whole nother story. This last relationship really did me in and hit the point where I have no desire to ever date again, trust again. I know as I heal and God bends my broken heart that one day maybe I'll be ready to meet. I'll be ready to trust again and love again somebody, but I know I'm not ready, and that's okay. Healing takes time, and I know if I hadn't come back to God, I wouldn't be where I am today. God actually saved me a few times. God did step in and intervene a few times. I saw him move for me and save me a couple times when I thought I might die from him, and it was those times when I thought, okay, God is real. And it was those times I realized that when I was in severe danger and needed help majorly, that the one person I cried out to was God. And God actually did help me and save me. And I'm trusting fully in him. And he's all I want. My faith is stronger than ever. And I know he knows my heart. And I know he knows what was done to me and what was said about me. And I know that he understands my reactions and why I reacted like I did. He's the only one who really gets it. And I know he loves me unconditionally. And I have faith that he's taking care of me, and he has been. I just needed to look to him and trust him. And that's what I'm doing. And my healing has been a beautiful process. And I sleep good at night, and my anxiety is very little. My
depression is very little. Now, for the first time ever in my life, since I've been completely on my own and single, I have been able to finally heal from the root up. I'm so thankful for all of my experiences that led me back to God, and that I know and I understand what other people are going through, and I have so much compassion and so much more empathy than I would have if I hadn't gone through these situations, and I'm so thankful for that. God has really brought me through. Every single day I learn and I grow, and I am excited to wake up and spend my time with the Lord, and I'm excited to face my day now. And I'm so much full of hope and love and joy and peace now, and I just want to give it all away. I'm just so thankful that God saved me, and He's taking care of me this far, and I know He's always going to carry me, and I'm excited to see things play out from here on out. To be continued. Thanks for listening.